Well, I've been involved with Camp Evergreen for 15 years. This is my 15th year. I've been directing Camp Evergreen since 2006, and this is the 20th year of camp. Camp Evergreen is a grief camp for kids who've experienced the death of someone. Our campers have experienced the deaths of their parents, of siblings, of grandparents, and they've experienced death from illnesses, from murder and suicide and accidents, and often their family is grieving too, and so their usual support system may not be available to them because they're grieving, and so camp offers them an opportunity to be, to have attention from adults who can be with them and hang out with them and support them. We do grief education, and we talk about coping skills, and so they come away with information that will hopefully help them deal with their grief when they get back home. And we also provide them opportunities to have fun at camp.
I'm John Goff. I'm from Plymouth, Indiana. I'm a buddy. I've been here 7 years. Really enjoy coming, especially when I can spend time with guys like Daniel here. We've had a lot of fun.
What I did was the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my entire life. I cannot go any farther because my balance is very bad, so this isn't accomplished for me.
How does that make you feel?
Good.
Why does it make you feel good?
Because I've never been up this high without like handlebars or anything in my entire life.
Daniel just was up on the high elements, walking around like a mountain goat, and came down the zip line. What was the most exciting thing for you, Daniel?
The zip line.
Was it scary?
When you first start it is, but when you're on it, it's fun.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the thrill. You know, you're up there, and we call it a challenge course because you can go as far as you want to go. And you challenged yourself today. I think you just did an awesome job. Had some fun too.
We couldn't have Camp Evergreen without the volunteers that we have. We have volunteers who have done multiple years, over 10 years that they've been involved with camp, over 5 years, and we're so appreciative of them.
Yeah, I'm volunteering. I have a little 7-year-old buddy. I'm just hanging out with her and helping her cope with the loss of her grandmother. So, my grandma passed away when I was 11, and my mom, she went through hospice. And then my mom found out about the camp and sent my brother and I here. And then I found out that they were doing volunteering stuff, so I decided to sign up and try it out.
I think one of the questions hospice patients oftentimes ask themselves is, what will happen to my family members after I'm gone? This is particularly true if there are children or teenagers as family members or in the home. And that's one of the reasons we came up with Camp Evergreen some 20 years ago. It's an opportunity for children and teenagers to not only have a great deal of fun, but also learn about the grief process and about positive ways of coping with their grief. It's open to any teenager or child in our 8-county service area that has experienced the loss of a loved one or someone who's been significant to them.
The camp is free, no charge for people from the community or our hospice patients. And I mean, how neat is that you don't have to decide, you know, like, can I afford to send my child here? Can I, you know, that's not even a question. And with the donors helping with that, you know, it's a beautiful thing. And that's the thing about hospice in general, you know, is you don't worry about payment, and you don't, with hospice way of looking at death as a natural part of life and living life to its fullest. And here in bereavement camp, it's that way as well. You know, this is what's happened, and now how do we move on?
I think the biggest thing I've seen is when they get off the bus and you meet them. They're obviously mostly fairly reserved, somewhat shy, and probably a little apprehensive. And as you interact with these young people through the course of the day with all the activities, you actually grow to be almost bond with them. So at the end of the day, you really feel great about the fact that maybe this young person has approached this whole thing with a little apprehension. At the end of the day, they've had a ball. So that's the thing I see. And I think through that grief has been lifted, and they may have a whole new perspective on it.
Actually helped me a little bit because I actually talked about it. And when I talked about it, other people opened up, and we started sharing stories because we have mini groups after our big group. So we could break off into our mini groups, and everyone in there is telling their story and what happened and stuff. And I told my story and everything. And it actually ended up being good for me because instead of remembering the bad stuff about him, we talked about good memories. Because my brother was in the same group as me, so we both talked about how he used to do a garden every year, every spring. He used to do a garden. He always rode a yellow motorcycle. He took us on the back of it like a couple times when we were younger.
It helped me feel happy because now I know that my grandpa is always going to be with me.
Every year I look at the losses these kids have had. They're too young, you know, to have often multiple losses, but, you know, you can't compare losses, but they're just amazing, you know. It's amazing. They teach me how to be strong, how to be stick with things, you know, and always learn from them. There's always good things.